So, uh, I do know that earlier today I sent you a message that was supposed to be a joke, but kind of didn't come across that well, which is unfortunate. So, I did apologize for that, but I know that you've got some stuff going on. Just sort of. Is it the typical stuff where you're just sort of stressed out about your job and your situation, or is there anything else going on?
Er, I don't like. You usually know that I don't like talking about my personal life, so I usually try to keep that hidden at all times. But there is a bunch of stuff happening other than work.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to get like specific with the details or whatnot, but I do know that you are upset. You're not doing well. And so I just sort of wanted to get a pulse on how things are going with you. I know you're in transit. What's the term for like in between? You're like shifting gears, I guess, or
Mhm.
trying to, which I think is great because it is really hard for people to find a way to make change happen, you know?
Yeah, uh, just texting me. Oh,
For me, I'm trying to sort of figure out what I'm going to be doing and where I'm going because I'm not finding anything of substance at the moment, but I don't want to like drop everything and try to move on to the next thing either. So, I've told y'all this in my server, but I don't think I've put this actually out there yet. Um, oh, I think I might have done a tweet, but I'm gonna be losing my job here in a couple months, and so I'm trying to make this nonsense work. I'm actually trying to, my YouTube channel is growing, but it's not going to be anywhere near where I need it to be because I need 1,000 subscribers before I can even start monetizing videos. So, trying to do Twitch, and I don't know if I'm gonna get any donations from that or anything, but trying to make things and get started and make connections, and I don't know. Being a content creator is juggling so many different things.
well, you're not the only one that's losing their job. Well, technically, I'm quitting my current job
Right.
because with the amount of money they're paying me, $9 an hour, I'm barely scraping by with anything.
Yeah.
I barely have food on the table, so I'm always relying uh, on I'm always relying at eating at work, which the food makes me sick beyond this point, but I still eat it just so I can have some kind of substance, some kind of some yeah.
Yeah.
But not only that, um, I've been having a lot of family issues lately, and honestly, it's really taking a toll on me. It's burning. It's too much of a burden on me because I was dragged into it.
Yeah.
So the, the, so I have a sibling. she's an older sister. But the thing is, she she's I don't want to say unstable, but she is very unwell.
Hmm.
Main reason why I'm saying that is because she has this boyfriend of, and she now has 3 kids, but she's paying more attention to her boyfriend than the actual kids, which is causing so much problems for the family. So then one day I was walking home from work and I see um the boyfriend. Let's just call him Gabriel.
Okay.
So while I was walking home, I saw Gabriel walking with a friend, and just I want to put this out there. He does smoke pot and all that.
Hmm.
So I had him living with me for a few months, and then to a point where Jasmine, my sister, yeah, I don't mind using her real name. My sister Jasmine, um,
It's another fake name. That's not a real name, obviously.
of course.
Hush.
Um, how can I put this?
Guy smoking.
Yeah. So while my sister was having the baby, when the baby was born, was pushed out, it got tested positive for drugs. So that started the whole family issue, and that's because of Caleb. I mean, Gabriel. I So this was like around Thanksgiving, so about last month. So as like I said, I'm gonna go back to the part where I was walking home. One of my uncles was driving past and he saw me. He asked, "Hey, do you want to lift home?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then when he noticed the boyfriend, my uncle, him and my uncle are not on very good terms. My uncle nearly hit him with his. Well, he did hit him with his truck, and then that caused even more conflict. And then I'm getting blamed for like, oh, you're the one who saw him. I was like, listen, I was just there, and then not to just to get into more personal.
No.
My father my father died in 2020 due
Hmm.
to COVID, and then my mom had brain tumors who's still in rehab. So I've been left to fend for myself. This started, well, my mom first got the brain tumors when I was still in high school, so while that was happening, I was doing school and work at the same time, which started putting low, I started, that's when I started getting so stressed. That's where everything started. It's been about 3 years since my mom has been in rehab. and I barely go. I have very little time to go visit her because I'm always working.
Mm,
There, I may I might be very energetic and cheerful sometimes, but I have a hard time talking to people.
yeah. I mean, people always say that the people with the largest smiles are the ones with the deepest scars. And usually what that saying means is that they're trying to hide or cover it up. But something I've learned is that those are also the kind of people that they may be hiding something, but they also want to help other people. They want to spread happiness because they know what kind of, you know, pain and sadness is, if that makes sense. So I think you and I are similar in that aspect where rather than, you know, dwelling, I guess, we keep moving and want to make people happy.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't want to see the people that the people that I care about, the people that I'm making memories with, suffer. Because I don't want them to go to through the same pain or try to go through the same pain that I've experienced. So I'm always putting others before myself, which I know which isn't good, but it's a forceful habit that I've gotten.
Losing family is hard because, you know, for the longest time growing up, they were kind of the people that you looked up to. They were the ones that took care of stuff and made stuff happen. And so part of it is like having to take over that responsibility and do stuff, but also the loss of substance and, you know, a standard of someone that was there for you that can take care of something. It's really scary to see these people vulnerable, uh, mortal, I guess, in a way, because we just usually think of these people as that they're always there, you know, their family, you know, they have always been a part of your life. So the concept of them no longer being there is scary. It's earth shaking. I've seen my family lose other family members. They've lost their parents. My grandparents are gone. That stuff didn't really affect me all that much because I really didn't know them. I mean, they were someone that I saw maybe 2 times out of the year whenever we went to like Christmas or something. So I really didn't know those people. I didn't know they existed. Um, but I don't ever want to get that distant with my family, which is one of the reasons why I'm still living with my parents, is because we are still really close and we do stuff together every single day. And it kind of hurts that my sister moved out and moved away, and now she's struggling with her marriage so very far away, not even in the same city. So I can't go see her or help her out as easily as I could. All I can do is just sort of stress and, you know, feel pain and be unable to help. So I can't really say that I necessarily understand or relate to your situation. And again, there isn't really like an answer or like a specific thing, like, oh, just do this. Life sucks, and then you
It
die.
does.
But yeah, life sucks and then you die, and that's sort of like the end of the story there. But there are things that you can do while you're living, while you're alive, and that kind of comes down to whether or not you want to live or just try to survive. Just try to, if you're going to be living life or just barely, existing. Because there will always be something in your path, always something weighing you down, always something you're trying to reach or afford. Or there will always be something. And you'll never be able to be in the perfect situation. And it sucks because there's always so much to do, to take care of, to try and manage, and it's way too much for any one person to do. And that's why we need to have community. We need to have people to talk to share stuff with, to get help. You shouldn't be expected to do stuff alone. And I know that I can't really do a whole lot. Um, I can offer advice and, give moral support. But sometimes, especially for some people, that's more than most people have. There are some people that don't want, you know, they don't want to be where they are. They don't want to feel the way that they're feeling. They want something, anything to change, to escape or whatnot. But sometimes just being there with someone so that they don't have to go through it alone really does help. And so, I guess at the very least, that's what I want to do.
So another one of my issues that I have is I never really turn to people or ask people if they could listen because I'm always like thinking, oh, I'm gonna be a burden on them. I'm probably gonna be bothering them. They probably don't want to hear me. I'm like all these negative thoughts take over my head. I'm like, okay, I just keep everything to myself.
I get that. I hate talking to people, but I also want people to talk to me more. But people always think that I'm busy and they don't want to bother me. When in actuality, if they were to talk to me, I would have less work to do. So sometimes you are bothering people, but it's in a good way. It's hard to get over that. I'm not saying that it's just sort of easy to like, oh, think about it like this, but it is truth that we all have, that like we always feel like we're not worth people's time, or what we have to say or what our feelings are isn't important or worthwhile. But I don't know. You matter.
I think I've pretty much given up. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I've given up on life. I'm just hanging by the I'm hanging by the thread here. Cause one, my family has basically shut me out. I've like I said, I barely get to visit my mom. I haven't had anyone say like they're proud of me. I haven't had a warm embrace in so long, and like that's just gone from my life. And honestly, that just I tr- every time I see families out in public and just them hanging out with their children, I try so hard not to cry because I know that I'm just missing that from my life.
Well, what's something that you don't. I don't want to just say, like, what's something you don't want to talk about, but, like, sometimes you kind of just need to get stuff out. And some people write it down, like journal or diary. Some people gossip to their friends or whatnot. But I'm not the kind of person that feels better or works through things by sharing. Um, but I am still trying to do so just the same because I am trying to get people connected and let them know what's going on in my life because I want them to know that they are important to me and I want them to be connected, basically.
So I'm turning up a little bit.
And that's fine. Crying is healthy. It's probably the most natural thing that the body can do. It helps flush out toxins, it helps, you know. I've been holding back so much in my life that I've actually lost the ability to cry to the point where I'll be actually cutting onions and my eyes don't water. Like, and so my eyes will just start burning because, I mean, maybe people don't know this, but when you open an onion, it releases these chemicals into the air that when it bonds with the water in your eye will actually turn it into an acid. And so that's why your eyes tear up and try to flush out the system with more water, basically. Um, but yeah, I have actively lost my ability to cry because I have just balled everything up and hid away my emotions and not allowed myself to feel or express myself or just get things out. I've just forced myself to be silent and in the background and not bother anyone, and it's it's terrible because it works, you know, but I've hurt myself so badly, and especially now in the long run, where I'm still struggling to figure out how to think and feel about things and work through stuff that I still actively not doing well. So my my advice is that go ahead and let yourself cry. You are allowed to cry. It is not wrong for you to feel the way that you feel. You should be aware of how you feel and the reasons why, and you can take care of those sort of things, but you should never try to stop yourself from feeling someone, unless it's like, be careful about how you interact with other people, but
Now, the problem with work, well, in my opinion, is I feel like I'm just a freaking puppet. I'm just supposed to smile, take things, and just accept the problems that other people bring up to me. Like others, like earlier today, I told you that a lot of people look down at me, and one of those problems is because of what my sister's boyfriend did at McDonald's. He was once a coworker with me. So the thing, the thing, it, the thing he did was he stole over $500 from the McDonald's safe, and ever since that happened, everyone that I usually work with just their attitude changed towards me because he's my fucking brother-in-law, and I'm choosing not to accept that, but it's their word against mine. It's them against me.
And it is tough being in those situations where, and I mean, I think we can all relate to like being in the position of siblings of like you're telling your story and they're telling their story, and you know you don't want to get in trouble, so maybe you twist the truth a little bit, or you want them to get in trouble, but sometimes people just have a completely different story, and so there's not even anything to go off of. There's nobody to trust. It's literally just someone telling their story. And the unfortunate thing is that usually people believe whichever story that they hear first, which is just wrong. But it is the honest truth. Because if you go to people after the fact and try to explain your side of things, they are already biased. It's just really annoying. It's one of the reasons why I don't believe anything people tell me until I've actually gone to talk to people myself. Because I'm just so sick and tired of getting screwed over myself with people, saying something, sharing stories or spreading rumors, or just in general thinking that they know me or what's going on without actually doing any legitimate research.
People just tend to believe the first thing they hear. And
Mm-hmm.
I've put up a mask for so goddamn long. And, and there's so many cracks in it. I keep just covering up with just a fake fucking smile. I constantly have customers saying, "Oh, you're so energetic. You're so happy." I was like, and I'm just there like, "Thank you." But in reality, I know damn well I'm not fucking fine. I'm
Mm-hmm.
never fine. Everything sucks. keep fucking telling myself that I'm fine.
It's okay to not be fine. It's fine to not be okay. In fact, most people are not okay, and that's okay. You know, everyone's dealing with their own stuff, different things, going through stuff, handling life in their own way. You know, everyone goes through different things, and everyone, you know, experience these things differently. Everyone has their own way of trying to deal with stuff, and nobody manages to, you know, accomplish stuff at the same speed or intensity or skill, or, you know, everyone has to work through stuff differently. But putting on a face, you know, hiding behind a mask, helps other people in the short term because they think, oh, this guy's, you know, doing okay. I don't have to worry so much or think about them so much. When in actuality, if you're just honest with them and be like, hey, you know what? I'm not doing well, but that's okay. Then at the very least, they'll be like, oh, alright. You know, they'll be aware and they'll actually, you know, give you space, or if they're capable, if they're available, they can, you know, offer help, assistance. But you need to let people know, otherwise how can they do anything? You know?
Yeah.
It's it's tough. I'm not saying that it's easy, but and I struggle with this too, because I'm not the type of person to actively go out and talk to people. I just sort of want to hide away, or, you know, not even bother, because it's extra work to try and, you know, talk to people or explain what's going on, and they still don't understand, and it's just more of a mess at that point. At least that's how I feel. So I just don't even want to bother, because I don't want to deal with them being like, "Ooh, well, you know, just be happy or feel better, or is there anything I can do?" You know, I
There are
feel
things
terrible.
that
I'm not trying to make you feel better. I feel terrible. You know,
there are things where there are things that you cannot fix. There are wounds that cannot heal. There are wounds that are too far deep inside that people think that they can fix. And honestly, I appreciate that, but it also pisses me off.
yeah. Especially the concept of people saying like, "Oh, well, we just need to figure out what the problem is so that we can fix you." First and foremost, it is never somebody's job to fix someone else. Even if you can, quote, fix, unquote, somebody, don't. You shouldn't. That's not your responsibility. Not only should you not be worrying and stressing over that, but also you should not be forcing your will upon them. That's just, you don't do that. Okay? And
So
at the
don't
same
take
time,
into
when people are struggling and you do want to help them, don't force yourself upon them trying to be like, "Here, let me help."
the other fucking thing is that every time they say, "Oh, what's the problem?" they never really take into consideration that the person themselves might be the problem. There, there are things that I do regret in life that I wish I could have done differently. There's one of my most regrets that I carry always is not being able to hang out with my dad while he was still here. I never really got I never really got to talk to him. I never got to hang out with him, and I regret that. Just more issues starting with that.
Yeah. That's that's something that a lot of people say is that once things are said and done and everyone's sort of moved on, people struggle with, the relationships and whatnot, but it's always after the fact that people always say that I wish I had, this or that, or, so there's never going to be the right time to say or do anything, but you do know that you're not going to have the opportunity forever. So if there is someone that is important to you, don't wait until you feel like their wound is healed, or they've apologized to you. If they're important to you, actually make make the first move. Take the initiative and actually be like, hey, I know that things aren't well with us, but you are important enough to me to go above this at the moment, because I know that we won't always have forever, and I don't want us to be suffering with this for the rest of life and whatnot. And you know, even after the fact, like once they are gone, or distance or whatever, it's it's always going to hang on you. So it's better to have tried and failed than to constantly wonder what if. I guess I'm rambling. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but my point being is that lots of people have regrets, so try to take care of those.
Hmm. I don't think why it's so hard for me to talk to people. I don't even talk to my own family. Even the only person that I'm close to, I don't even tell her about my problems. In my family's eyes, I'm just one big disappointment.
I feel that way too. And I know my parents say like, "Oh no, we're totally proud of you," but like I don't feel like I've ever done anything of substance. I always felt like I've just managed to work towards, I don't know. Whenever I do something mediocre, it's not good enough. Whenever I've done something exceptional, it's passable. And so I've never done anything amazing or, you know, worth acknowledgement. Sorry about that.
That's no worries.
The thing to remember is that your worth is not the sum of your works. You are more valuable than what you've accomplished or what people have seen. You know, you don't have to do anything. The only job that you specifically have to do is be yourself. And that's really difficult to do, especially when you have other people, you know, trying to tell you what to do and whatnot. But if you can manage to be yourself and figure out who that is, then no one else can tell you otherwise. You know, that that itself is hard to do. And then everything else you do outside of that is extra credit. You know, it is important to take care of yourself, to, you know, manage your life, your well-being, your your business, you know, there is a lot that this world declares that you owe it, basically. That there's so much that you need to do in order to simply exist here. And the honest truth is that that's not true. You don't owe the world anything. And the world doesn't owe you anything. And that's something that I've struggled with for a long time, is that I feel like I put in so much time and effort and love into things, into connections and projects and people, and I've never gotten anything back out of it, even though I feel like I did good. I did a lot of hard work. I put blood, sweat, and tears into this. Why am I not getting enough back from it? I feel like I am owed. I deserve more than what I'm currently getting. And that is a bad mindset to be in. Because if you're always comparing your works to other people's, then they will never live up to your expectations. And that's just the truth. So if you always feel like you're putting in, because you see all of the little effort that you do to things, you know how much effort it takes you to be able to accomplish things and whatnot. So you know, you know what you've done, how much time and energy you've spent on things, and so whenever you accomplish little things here and there that most people don't see, you feel cheated. But that's just sort of how the world works. So you have to. It's better to do a bunch of little things of substance that the majority of people are going to see than it is to, work really hard towards one thing that, you know, might be even a little bit more than average. But again, people are most likely not going to see that extra effort, even if they see the one essence of you doing something. Basically, all this is going back to say that you need to make steps and take care of the things that are important to you more than going out of your way to appease what people want from you. Because if you're always working towards trying to, achieve what people want from you and, complete their vision, not only will you never be able to make everybody happy, but you'll probably never live up to people's expectations that you wanted them to, because they probably don't even know what they want. So how can you, you know?
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
I have the stream open.
Shut up. I've got this stream manager up, and it's got like all these different flashing things of like, oh, take care of this, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a look. That's what that sound was earlier. That was the follower goal getting reached. I've got 123 followers and 3 viewers. And one of them's me.
The other one's me.
So who's the third one? Oh, it's Tori.
Yeah, figured as much. Called Tori out. We see you.
Yeah, you want to get in here? Oh, like Tori was talking to somebody. Fuck it. We'll just see if she joins. I mean, I guess we could have just gone into the server, but that's... I'm not a smart man. That's okay. Is there anything else you want to share or sort of let out? Basically, the biggest thing I'm struggling with right now is the frustration of trying to figure out how to get, some sort of worth out of the work that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out if my work just isn't good enough, if I need to be working on something else, because I am trying to get some sort of recompense from all these favors that I'm doing for people. And if I stop making them, if I stop making these favors free, then basically I'm probably going to start losing a bunch of friends and people because they're like, oh man, he's starting being mean now. He's starting to make every little thing he does cost money now. I'm like, I'm not trying to do it like that, but I have bills to pay. I pay $350 a month to live here, and that rent's gonna go up. I mean, I could try to start selling everything I own, but that means that I'll have to start, buying, boxes and shipping stuff to send to people, and purchase probably a shop on an online store somewhere. You always have to spend money to make money, and it just sort of depends on how much you're willing to give up. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Freddie?
No, not. Some of the weight has been lifted off me.
That's good. You want to get your friend on here?
Which one?
The one that you said, hey, can we get them on the podcast? And I was like, which one?
Oh yeah, let me check if he's available.
A male friend? You have one of those?
Yeah. Let's see how fast he responds to me.
Oh, pie time. It's 3:14.
AM or PM?
PM.
Oh no, you're Eastern. You're Eastern. I forgot, I'm 2 hours ahead.
Do you think I would be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I was.
And you are a monster.
Trust me, I feel like one.
Have you ever listened to the Skillet song?
Yes. It's a classic. Who
I
hasn't?
feel like a monster.
I feel like a monster.
The one thing that I specifically hate about that is that one of the lyrics is
Side of me.
I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. And I'm like, okay, which is it? Is it deep within or is it just beneath the skin? Because
I don't think they were putting much thought into the lyric. I'm waiting for him. He takes a little bit to respond. Oh god, a lot of people are texting me now.
oh no, you're popular. A truly
once.
terrifying ability. One of the things that I'm honestly still struggling with is that I feel like I don't get enough attention, which is stupid because I am introverted and antisocial, so I don't want to hang out with people. In fact, I feel drained and completely useless when I hang out with people for too long, because I just sit there not talking. And that's sort of what it's been these past couple days, where I've actually been participating in big group calls where we're just sitting and talking, and I'm like, this small talk has been going on for 3 hours and we've accomplished nothing. I need to be productive. But I guess like that stuff is important, but at the same time I feel like, I don't know, because I've had very limited interaction socializing with people, that when I do get the small chance, I am able to hold a conversation. There is a lot that I want to talk about, but I mean, to the point where I've started podcasts because I just need to talk about stuff. But it as humans, we are designed to be social creatures. We require feedback. We require, you know, the opinions of others to have basis for what we say and do and how we feel about things. Because if all we do is just sort of sit in a corner with no, you know, stimulus at all, then we just won't do anything. And that's sort of what depression is. And I actually had someone jump into my chat last night during the stream. They said, hey, I saw that depression was in your tag. I wanted someone to talk to. And so while we were doing the jackpot games, I was actually texting with them in chat. We had a little bit of a talk about some things. Unfortunately, they did say, like, sort of near the end, is that, man, like, I've got depression, you know, people have died, and everyone tells me just to put on medicine. Oh, also, I'm 13. And I'm like, okay. First and foremost, I will talk to you like a real person, actually give you some feedback, and let you know some things that I've learned and experienced. But also, the fact that you have told me that you have used Twitch for a few years now, and you're only now 13. Unfortunately, I am gonna have to report your account. And then they basically left after that, which is really unfortunate because I do want to help people, but also at the same time, Twitch is not the best place to go for emotional support. In fact, I would say that Twitch is probably one of the last places that you should go, because Twitch is all about monopolizing on people's desires and needs, and the very construct of focused socializing, where it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you can basically get really close and personal with these celebrities and whatnot, which I think is sort of toxic behavior, because if you're a person that needs social interaction, you should be doing it with people in your general purview. And they also shouldn't be like hot supermodels or people using, you know, artistic depictions of what a person should be and look like and act. All these people on here are putting on a face. These are not real people on Twitch, and you should not be basing who you are, what you want to be, or, you know, you should be talking to real people. That's all I was trying to say.
I mean, you're not wrong. You got a point there.
I actually realized that I was good at talking to people when I was struggling with depression so much in high school that I went onto websites that I learned about in, like, health and psychology class, about places that you can go to talk to people. And I actually, like, signed up and, you know, asked if I could talk to people, and I end up talking to those people so well that I made them feel better, and then they kept asking if they could talk to me later. And I'm like, I'm the one that came here for help. But I mean, in a way, that's sort of what friends are. You make friends by interacting with people, realizing that maybe you have something in common, but you help each other. But that's the thing, is that you help each other, not just one person helps the other person and then doesn't get anything in response. A lot of people say that like toxic friends are people that are always needy and are always taking, or will actively work to your detriment. But honestly, toxic people are people that always want but never take. You have to learn how to be able to be honest and vocal when you need something, and be willing to say like, hey, I'm not going to keep letting people take what they want from me. I'm not going to keep giving in to this. I actually need to, take care of myself and put myself first. Because that's what I've been for the longest time, is that I've just sort of been this guy complaining and giving away and giving away and giving away and being like, why is nobody helping me? Why am I still struggling and hurting? And I'm just giving people what they want. And then people are like, oh, I thought everything was great, You gave me what I wanted from this relationship, and you never wanted anything in return. So you have to learn to take. You have to learn how to be honest and say like, hey, I don't mind doing stuff where like, we can share, but I would also like something out of this arrangement, and not just giving stuff away freely.
Yeah. I mean, I completely get that. It's just, it's a one-sided thing.
I mean, it's a real hard thing to learn. Anywho, I mean, we could keep talking for hours and get nowhere, but again, like I said, I don't really get anything out of talking or anything, but it is important to, share with people so that they're aware. But if you would like to talk about anything else, because I feel like I'm doing the majority of the talking, and it's just sort of me rambling. So if you would like to ramble for a little bit or anything.
Well, sure, why not? The other issue I have, it's a daily issue.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, continue.
This is a daily issue every day. So every time I go to work, I usually wake up around 4 to 3 in the morning. Yes, yes, I have a 3 a.m. alarm. Main reason, breakfast. And then when I do go to work, of course I clock in, do what I gotta do, all that fun stuff. Usually mornings aren't all that bad, but it's when it's slowly creeping towards afternoon, I become the source of everyone's blame. So let's just say like we have like 10 cars in drive-through. Let's just say I just finished cashing out one of the cars at the window, and I'm waiting for the next car to pull up. I get yelled at, Freddy, come on, move it. I'm waiting for y'all to move up the line. But of course, I'm the one to blame because apparently it's always my fault. And that pisses me off so fucking much that I just want to yell back like, I'm waiting for y'all to move the car out of the way so I could catch the next car. But no, I can never talk back to a fucking manager because they're higher ups. One wrong saying, gone. But I'm just tired. I'm so fucking tired of being the source of the blame.
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I usually come home stressed. I that's also one of the reasons why I fall asleep during some of the sessions because I get off of work or I'm just tired. I'm like I stay up and my body's like my body's at its limit. Oh, hold on, I got texted. The friend won't be able to join.
Yeah, it's always your fault. It's always you need to be doing better, doing more. You know,
Like they
never
expect me to
good
go
enough.
faster. Also, the friend that you told me to invite.
Hmm.
Do you remember that they're not good at English?
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that stress gets put onto me when it's not really my fucking fault. And that's why every time we VC every once in a while, I I laugh out of nowhere. Like just today, when I was supposed to leave, the same manager that I had yesterday didn't tell me that. Didn't ask me, hey, can you stay 30, 45 minutes? I'm waiting for someone to come in. No, they're just over there doing something else, and I'm over here like, um, uh, yeah, should I start leaving or? Because one, I don't want to be the reason that labor's high. Two, at least inform me that you want me to stay. Just don't keep me in the dark because that pisses me off. And this is the second time she did this. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting the fuck out of there. But I'm still gonna know all the McDonald's secrets.
There's this one guy on YouTube that is like the president of the Fast Food Secrets Club. You know this guy?
He sounds familiar.
He's a black guy that says, "All right, let me tell you about something. Come real close now. Today
Yeah,
something. You know that guy?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now I know. I like that guy. I hear children.
Oh no,
Give me a second.
that's how you
I'm gonna
know
read
it's
my
all
shotgun.
over."
I'm gonna go drop kick some kids out there.
All right, we can call it here.
Sure.